I'm sick to death of it. Let's talk to Sunil Sharma, political commentator, host of the Rational Voices with Sunil podcast. Sunil, I'm in a bad mood today, mate. I can't help it. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, because it's time that we admitted the truth. We are being taken for a very long ride by these absolute scumbags coming to this country and ripping us all off.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the boat situation is crazy. I know yesterday was a record where we had a boat that carried 107 people across the channel, as opposed from 95 or whatever it was before the record. And I think exactly what you said, these are not small boats anymore. These are not small, unsafe boats. These are large boats carrying more than 100 people in a boat. And it's just crazy, and it's scary, because where do these people go? You've got some people in this country that are constantly worse off, younger people, elderly people. Everyone is in this country worse off on a day-to-day basis. How on earth can we accommodate more and more people? How on earth can we accommodate people who are coming here illegally? People with completely different values, completely different beliefs. It is scary.
But also, can we also get away from this ludicrous, sort of fake narrative the government's trying to put out, that they're clamping down on these people? Last Friday we were told by Yvette Cooper and Keir Starmer, anybody that comes to this country illegally is going to be detained and they're going to be deported. Well, clearly that's not happened, because this guy, the TikTok migrant, is in the sun today again, living high on the hog in a very nice hotel, the Crowne Plaza near Heathrow. He came in on Saturday, and by Sunday afternoon he'd been through Manston, he'd been processed, and he was in a hotel in London.
I mean, 100%. And when I first saw that video, it makes you so angry and frustrated. But in a way, I'm really glad that video is out, because I think this sums up the reality for a lot of the people coming into this country illegally. And there'll be some people who say that the numbers aren't actually that much in terms of the whole proportion. That's not the case. That's not the case, and B, that's not the issue. If you're allowing people to come to this country illegally, if you're allowing people to come in here, essentially not abide by the law, what does that say for the rest of society? What does it say to other people? It is absolutely frightening. The numbers are not decreasing, and I don't think they will decrease when you've got a really soft,
of course not.
government.
No, listen, you can't blame them in a way. I mean, I hate all of them, and I detest the fact that they're coming here from countries which wouldn't know a democracy or a woman if they fell over one, right? But the point is that they're allowed to come here, they're enabled to come here, nobody's stopping them, so you can't really blame them for doing it.
No, I mean, they're taking advantage of the situation. I think it's, like I said, I think these are not exactly the nice people. They can't be trusted, but at the same time, there is literally no repercussions to what they're doing. They are getting rewarded for doing something illegally. They should be seen as criminals.
Yeah.
If you come to this country illegally, you're doing an illegal act. You're a criminal.
Straight, arrive in Dover, go straight into prison. That's what I would do. Right?
Yeah, go straight to prison. Look, I know the Rwanda deal was something that a lot of people frowned upon, but the idea of deporting these people out of the country if you're not sure where they came from, which is, I think, another new ludicrous lie. I think most of the time you can actually tell where these people come from, but it's not Britain's responsibility for dealing with the conflicts of the world. And it's really ironic. The only people that come to this country are men between 19 and 40 years old. There's no women on these boats. There's no children on these boats. So, when you hear about the humanitarian reasons from people, the TikTok migrant clearly shows the reality of the kind of profile people coming into this country. It's scary, it's wrong, and I feel really sad and annoyed, because what does it say for the rest of the country when,
Well, this country has basically become a dumping ground for the third world. We've got people living here who go to the toilet in the street, right, because they think that's what you do. I'm sorry, that is not a civilised society. We have become an uncivilised society as a result of the influx and the integration of these scumbags who have come here from other places.
Good, definitely. And you look at the profile of people coming, and you look at the profile of people leaving. The UK, when it comes to the whole world now, is the #1 place for millionaires leaving. It is overtaking countries like China. China has more than 10 times the population of the UK, and the UK has beaten them in terms of the amount of people leaving this country, or millionaires leaving this country. So you've got people who create businesses, you've got people who create wealth who are leaving this country, and you've got people like this who create absolutely nothing for the British society apart from pain. They're coming into this country. So it is an absolute, I'm not advocating for what happened last summer in terms of the riots. And of course, I don't want to see that happen again. But there are a lot of people in Britain who must be so angry when they see what this man has done when it comes to on TikTok and to the realities of what is going on with these small boats. These are not humanitarian cases. These are not people who are in deep trouble. Like I said, if that was the case, where are the women? Where are the children? Why is it only men between 19 and 40 coming into this country.
Yeah, exactly. Where are all the women and children, you know? And we've seen over the course of the past year loads and loads of hotels, particularly the one in Epping, the Bell Hotel, where, by the way, there's been another migrant who's been charged with an offence, which I'll bring you later. You know, they used to have women and children and families living there. Now it's just simple single men, young men, who wander around the town, molesting young women, you know, catcalling, whistling at them, you know, making their lives a misery, pretending that they are, for all intents and purposes, you know, citizens of this nation. They're not. They're criminals. They're scumbags. They shouldn't be here. We should be rounding them up and putting them in a bloody cage, for all I care.
Well, but the thing is, I think what, you know, people will may say like what we're saying isn't right or racist or whatever. The reality is when you bring people from a different demographic and you bring them in such high, vast numbers and you bring them all together, they have no reason or no understanding of how to adapt to British values and British customs. This may be perfectly normal for where they come from. So when they come here, they have no idea. There's no law, there's no restrictions, there's no nothing for them to sit there and actually adapt to British society and culture. And the other point is, the other argument, you know, many people will say about immigration and, you know, we need to be multicultural and all this sort of nonsense. Well, let's just say that is a key component that is important. Well, what does it say about legal migration? What does it say for people who come to this country legally? Like, how is it fair?
Yeah, listen, I've got good friends who've come to this country and who work for a living and who've started up businesses and who pay tax and who do all the right things and have never broken the law in their lives. And they're generally people from Eastern Europe, people who have come here to make a living and to make a new life. Not these other people who have come basically to take, put their hands out and be given free food, free lodging, you know, free everything. It's not, you know, it's not on. We can't do it anymore. Listen, Sunil, good to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed. Sunil Sharma, political commentator, host of the Rational Voices with Sunil. We need some rational voices, right? Mike, the way you are feeling right now, says Brian in Worthing, is how millions and millions of people are feeling.